The diagram above shows an L-shaped plot of land. Calculate the length of P. Now let's denote where P is. And so we're going to use our highlighter to show where P is. So here is the length, right? This right here is the length of P. Okay, and so they want us to figure out, okay, what is the length of P? Now notice that this is the length of P, and that's what that is what we're trying to figure out. But I want you also to notice that this side, length of P, corresponds with this particular length right here. Okay, so P and this length should be equal. All right, so this side and this side that I have denoted in red, they are equal. All right. And so what we need to do is we already know that this entire length right there from here to here is, we already know that this entire length from here to here is 45 meters. What we also know is we also know that this right here, right, this length right here is 21 meters. And so what that means is that this portion right now, right, this portion right there in green is also 21 meters. So this portion right there is also 21 meters. And so what we need to do in order to figure out P, what we need to do is we need to take 45, right, meters and subtract it with 27. Once we subtract it with 27, then we're going to be left with this particular portion that we have in red, which is going to be the same length as P, all right? So again, we're going to take 45, which is the length of the entire thing, and we're going to subtract it with 27, all right, which is this length, which is also this length, right? And when we subtract 45, this entire length, with 27, that's gonna leave us with just this red portion. And this red portion is P, and that's also gonna be the length of this here, which is P, all right? And so that's the idea. So what we have to do is we have to subtract. And so in order for us to figure out the length of P, we have to say 45 meters minus 27 meters, and 45 meters minus 27 meters is 18 meters, and that's the length of P. The length of P is 18 meters. Next, we need to calculate the length of Q. Now, if you notice here carefully, notice that, let's highlight this. So what we have here is we have this length, which is 28, all right? And this length corresponds with this length right here, which is on Q, all right? And so that means that this right here is also 28 meters. And also note that this right here is 35 meters. And so that also means that this one right here is 35 meters as well. And so what does that mean? That means that if we are trying to find the length of Q, what we have to do is we have to add 28 meters plus 35 meters. And when we add those two together, we get 63 meters. And so the length of Q is going to be 63 meters. Next, the question states, calculate the perimeter of the plot of land. Now the perimeter just basically mean that we have to add up all of the lengths. So we have 63 plus 45 plus 28 plus 18 plus 35 plus 27. When we add them all together, that's going to be the perimeter. So 63, 45, 28, 18, 35, 27. When we add them all together, we get 216 meters. And so that means that the perimeter of the plot of land is 216 meters. Next, we have to calculate the area of the plot of land. Now, the area of the plot of land, right? So the area of this L-shaped plot of land, what we're gonna do in order to figure out the area of this plot of land, we're gonna separate the shape into two shapes, right? So we're gonna call this shape, this part A, right? We're gonna call this part A, and then we're gonna call this part B. Okay, so we're gonna call this part A and call this part B. Okay. And so in order for us to calculate the area of A, what we're gonna do, we're gonna say 28 meters multiplied by 18. So 28 meters multiplied by 18 meters, and that gives us 504 meters squared. And so the next thing that we need to do is we need to calculate the area of B. And B is also a rectangle, and the area of a rectangle is length times width. And so that's gonna be 63 meters multiplied by 27. And so the area of B is going to be 63 meters multiplied by 27, which gives us 1,701 meters squared. And so the area of A is 504 meters squared, and the area of B is 1,701 meters squared. And so if we add those two together, we get 504 meters squared plus 1,701 meters squared. And when we add those two together, we get 2,205 meters squared. And so that means that the area of this plot of land is 2,205 meters squared. And that's the answer to this question. Now let's move on to the next question. The next question states that the plot of land is to be planted with banana suckers. Each banana sucker requires an area of 5 meters squared. Calculate the maximum number of banana suckers that should be planted. And so the maximum number of banana suckers is going to be 2,205 meters squared divided by 5 meters squared, which gives us 441 banana suckers when we divide them. And so the answer for this question is 441 banana suckers. And that's the answer to this question.